This video is going to show how to get whatever you made in Onshape onto the 3D printer. So I have this little keychain thing that I made, and I'm going to get this ready for 3D printing. And so I just realized I've got something here that I want to fix. Oh well, we're just going to leave it. Alright, so the 3D printer, my state had islands, so it wouldn't work as one thing. So I just put this little back on the back, and all I did for the back was just create a little sketch. Just with the line tool, I went around in a completely random shape and just extruded that 0.125 behind it, so it just gave it a little back, so when I 3D print this, it'll all stay together. And then I also took that opportunity to make this little hole. Like, I just made a shape that stuck out and then put a circle and cut it out so it's a little bit of a keychain. So I always think keychains are nice when you 3D print. Also, I tried to keep this very thin. Okay, the thinner they are, the faster they will 3D print. So the distance between this is only 0.25 inches. That's like 1/4 of an inch. So try and keep it thin, and then we'll keep our 3D printing times down low just for this first time, because we don't even know how this stuff is going to turn out. That's part of all this is trial by error, or trial and error. So the first thing that we need to do is, this is 8 different parts. So each island is a different part, and there's all these different parts in here. So, and that's just how Onshape works. And so what we need to do to combine these is use a tool called Boolean. So what we'll do is, a Boolean tool is up. Okay, so I had a little problem. All my parts were combining because the E and the A were separate because I cut all the way through on accident. So now I'm just going to go and do another Boolean and choose all the parts, and now I should have one part. So now that it's all together, okay, I'm going to export this. So I'm going to right click. If you have a Mac or a Chromebook, if you hold the Alt and click on it, that will bring it up. But if you guys are in school, you're probably doing this in school with a right click. But if you are at home, just getting it ready, hold Alt and click your mouse. And we can go up here to export. Alright, so I think this video is going to jump around a little bit, but sorry. So now we're going to export. So we right click or Alt click on part 1, go to export, and what we actually want to do is millimeters. So title your part something, and I'm going to call it mass millimeters, STL units millimeters, and the reason it's jumpy is because I did centimeters and it didn't work, so we want millimeters. Resolution medium, and then downloads. Now this will download it, the name of your file, and then we're going to go to a program called FlashPrint. Now in FlashPrint, what this program is this is the program that takes your STL, which is a solid body file, and it converts it into G code, which is what the 3D printer can read. Its XYZ axis and like where the extruder should move and everything else. So this represents the parameters of our machine. So it's like 12 by 12 or something like that, and then the height. So whatever you print needs to fit inside this box, and most of what we will print will be much smaller than the entire box. So we click load, and then we should go to our downloads and find mass millimeters. And it's off the platform. Just click yes, that'll move it up a little bit. But we do not want to print it like this. If we were to print it like this, it's going to have to print all this support and like stand up, and it's going to get really messy. So we need to rotate it so it sits flat on the tray. So what I'm going to do is go up here to these things, and I'm going to click rotate, and I'm going to find out which one the red is. So I'm going to try clicking this. That didn't do it. So there it is. So I clicked the X, that went back, so now it's laying flat, and I'll click the X, and then I'm going to go to move, and I'm going to put it on the platform, and that moves it down so it's at the very beginning or at the very bottom, so there's no extra stuff on there. And then I can click center and I click the check. Okay, so now this is ready to print. This is one of the easiest things. There's all this other stuff we can do, but right now we're just going to leave it at that. All right, so now we can set supports, but really for this we don't need any supports. We'll talk more about supports later, and if I see you guys 3D printing something with supports, maybe I'll take that opportunity to teach it. So now I'm going to do print, and we are in the Guider 2, and we are going to be printing in PLA. Supports, disable. Raft, let's disable it for right now. The raft helps if you have something that doesn't have a lot of surface area on it. Resolution, let's stick with standard, and let's not click anything else. So we click OK, and now we need to save it. So it's going to save it as a GX file. So I'll just call it mass.mm. So I click save, and now it's building the model, and now so you can actually watch it print. So there's 35 layers, and as it's printing, this is what it's going to look like. So it's going to print the flat part, and then a little bit of honeycomb, and then it builds on top of the honeycomb. So you can actually play the animation, and it'll show it. So it's saved now. So that GX file, you'll need to put that on a flash drive or something, walk it back to the 3D printer, and it's pretty easy from there. So that's how you 3D print something.